It's time for your morning tea. It's time for your morning tea. Today's morning tea is do not jeopardize your future for temporary gratification. Again, do not jeopardize your future for temporary gratification. For my old viewers, look to your right hand side. My new viewers, join along. You see the subscribe button. If you have not pressed that button, tap it for me. Now press that bell. You will receive the notifications of my uploads immediately. And thank you for joining my tea party. Now, let's sip. Do not jeopardize your future for temporary gratification. There's two brothers that's in the Bible, Jacob and Esau. When I started thinking about this topic right here, I don't know why my mind or my spirit was led to their relationship, right? But when I sat down and I thought about it, both of them dealt with the spirit of greed. Esau just was hungry. I mean, either way you put it, he was greedy. He was hungry. And Jacob was greedy for something that did not belong to him. Esau came from working and he was just starving and he wanted some soup. He was hungry and Jacob offered him a bowl of stew or soup. But there was something that came along with it. I'll give you this soup or this stew if you give me your birthright, if you give me your inheritance. And Esau, with his greedy self, said okay. He went for it. He jeopardized his future for temporary gratification. But then when we look at Matthew 4, we have Jesus, right? So Jesus, he fasted 40 days and 40 nights, and then the tempter came to him and was like, well, I noticed you're hungry, right? Because everybody knew he was hungry. So he was hungry. He was like, if you be the Son of Man, why don't you turn these stones into bread? And basically what Jesus told him was no. Like, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. He knew that he had a purpose to fulfill. He didn't jeopardize his future for temporary gratification. We have to be very, very careful what is being offered to us, what is being presented to us. We might be caught in a very vulnerable point in time, and an enemy will sneak in. He will creep in. We know that he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And he is so freaking cunning. It's like you won't even see him coming. You won't even see him, like he blindsides. Is it blind sight? Blind sides? There you go. He blindsides you, right? He comes from you from an angle that you never expect. In one of your weak and one of your vulnerable moments, it's like the tempter just comes in. Oh yeah, Esau, you're hungry. Here goes something to eat. Jesus, oh, you're hungry. Here's something to eat. When you resist the devil, he will flee. That I'm not saying that the devil will not come back. Of course he's going to come back because he is determined. He walks this earth seeking whom he may devour. He walks this earth like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. You don't want to be his victim. Caught up in a moment and you're like, okay, yeah, maybe I can get away with this. But then you don't know or you don't think about what are your consequences. What are you giving up just to satisfy your flesh at that moment? Because it's your flesh that you're basically satisfying. You're not satisfying your spirit. Your spirit knows better. You know, we know these things. First, those things that are natural, then those things that are spiritual. Natural is your flesh. Your flesh is weak. Unless you feed your spirit. Our flesh can be weak, even when we feed our spirit. So what does the enemy do? He walks this earth like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. You may fall prey to him. I mean, let me give you an example. You're at work. You discuss, let's say, getting a raise, or you're debating, should I leave this job because I've discussed with my supervisor or my superior or my leaders, however you want to phrase it, about a raise. You want an increase in your salary, right? And basically, they're not going to give it to you. So, yeah, you leave work on a bad note. Now you're stuck in traffic. Had traffic that upset you even more. And now you're home. So you didn't snap on your boss. Why? Because you needed your job, or you need your job. Now you get home. And your spouse just does something that gets under your skin. Something happens and you just cannot resist it. So you gave into it. Now you decide to snap. You snap on the person who loves you, who cares for you. So why would you jeopardize the relationship that you have over a small gratification? Meaning, like, you've been wanting to snap on somebody all day, right? You didn't give into it. But when you got home, you gave into it. And now you're jeopardizing. Even if you're not jeopardizing the relationship right then, you're jeopardizing something. So no one is a stranger to this channel. If you're here already, you look back, I am very transparent. I had an issue with anger when I was younger, right? So I just snap on people. I used to snap on people. I had attitude. I mean, any little thing, I'm snapping, right? So in school, I didn't know how to control my mouth or my anger or myself. So let's say a holiday was approaching, whether it was my birthday, and yes, my birthday is a holiday. 7/25, Tamika said, no, I'm just playing. So say my birthday is approaching, Christmas is approaching, some type of holiday is approaching, right? Where gifts are being exchanged, like your parents are getting you something, right? So, you know, Christmas is coming up. You get warned, Tamika, don't be bad in school. Don't you get suspended. Don't you fight. Don't you fuss. Don't do anything bad, right? But something happens and you just cannot resist it. So you gave into it. And most times I felt good after I stopped fussing. After I went off on that person, I felt big and bad. And I just had, I felt like I released something. So I felt better. I felt lighter. That temporary gratification cost me whatever I was going to do on my birthday, whatever gifts I was going to get on Christmas, and I want to say the engagement of my family on both of those days or any of those holidays. It cost me something. I jeopardized what was going to be for something that actually was temporary. Like, suppose I didn't argue with that person. Oh my gosh, when I tell you, my aunt used to show me the gifts that I was going to get. So like for a few years, what she would do is she would say, oh, you're not gonna get this, and then she'll give it to me. Do you know that stopped? The audacity of her. Like, it stopped. I could not get what was promised to me. Don't ruin your promise. God has spoken to some of us. So God has spoken words over us. Like, there are some things that have already been established. This life that we're in, like, nothing happens by happenstance. Every single thing is planned. However, like the children of Israel, right? They could have gotten to the promised land in a few days, but it took them 40 years. Why? Because of their decisions. There are some things that we do that we have to suffer or reap the repercussions of. It's not that our promise is not going to come to pass. It's just going to take a longer time to obtain it. So this basically brings me and leads me to Moses. Remember, Moses had a promise spoken to him, but he made a decision which brought him temporary gratification, but it cost him his future. He could not enter into the promised land. Listen, do not jeopardize your future for temporary gratification. It is just not worth it. Let it pass. This too shall pass. It may cost you something to let it pass. Like, you may have to bite your tongue. You may have to walk away. You may have to dummy down. Think about something Think about the joy that's ahead of you. Think about the prize that you're reaching for. Don't turn back to your old ways. The old ways were not working. Give up the desire, the urge, the temptation to satisfy yourself for the moment. And realize and accept that your future is going to be worth more and is much more valuable than what this one little moment will cost you. It has been a pleasure serving you. I am looking forward to serving you again. I want you to sip on this all day, and if you want to, share with a friend.